Welcome to this deep dive. We're jumping straight into the really intense world of Formula One today.
Yeah, specifically looking at a sprint race weekend. It's always a bit chaotic.
Absolutely. Our focus is going to be cutting through all the noise from that single free practice session FP1 for the U.S. Grand Prix in Austin. Just 60 minutes.
And those 60 minutes, well, they're everything. For you listening, the key thing right off the bat is understanding why this 1 hour matters so much.
Right.
It's the only chance teams get to figure out their car setup before, bam, they're locked in for sprint qualifying.
Locked in, no going back. It's an insane amount of pressure, making decisions on tires, aero, everything in such a short time.
The margins are just tiny. There's really no safety net if they get it wrong.
And that pressure, it forces them to try and simulate, well, everything at once, doesn't it? Long runs, quali pace.
Exactly. It's a balancing act. So we've taken all that rapid-fire action, look at it through our Deer Zone lens, and we're going to give you the key takeaways.
Okay, let's unpack this very, very unusual session. Where do we start? The beginning, I guess.
Yeah, the moment the lights went green, basically every car just flooded onto the track.
No time to waste, right? None of that usual sitting in the garage for 15 minutes.
Not on a sprint weekend.
Yeah.
And we saw mostly hard tires straight away. Makes sense. Track was hot, needed that long-run data for Sunday.
Good point. And Austin, well, the track evolved super quickly, especially early on.
Oh, yeah, the times were tumbling down fast. Drivers really had to push to get a decent baseline before things settled.
And that actually led to, well, maybe the first little surprise of the session, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, in the Mercedes.
Yeah.
He was the first one under the 1.37 mark.
And then later, he actually popped in the fastest time for a while, a 1.34.857, I think, and that was still on the hards.
Which is pretty impressive, yeah. Suggests a decent starting point for them.
And what about Carlos Sainz? He looked quick early, too.
He did, yeah. In the Ferrari, he briefly went P1 with a 1.36.130, also on the hard tire. So early signs, maybe, that Ferrari and Mercedes had a handle on things in the heat.
But the clock keeps ticking, doesn't it? And then, bang! Red flag.
Yep, about 37 minutes left on the clock. Piece of debris off Lance Stroll's Aston Martin.
On the track, had to be cleared, and just like that, more precious minutes, just gone.
It's annoying on a normal weekend. On a sprint weekend, it's a major hit. Really squeezes that already tight window for making changes.
Forces some risky decisions when they get going again, I bet.
Definitely. Though amidst all that, there was that funny little moment, wasn't there, with Hajar's engineer?
Oh, yeah. Joking about Bottas being on track.
And Hajar sounded confused. Then they cut to Bottas sitting in the Mercedes garage looking equally confused.
A bit of light relief, I suppose. Needed it. Especially with all the cool special liveries out there for Texas. Adds a bit of flair.
Definitely adds some visual pop. But that brief pause was quickly followed by some pretty serious drama, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, let's get into that. Because this is where the pressure cooker really seemed to boil over for a couple of big names. Carlos Sainz first.
Oh, just brutal timing for him. Ferrari called back pretty quick.
Looked like a gearbox issue, right? You could even see oil on the floor in the garage.
Yeah, never a good sign. He eventually got out, helmet off. I think he was even having lunch while they were working on it.
But the critical thing, strategically speaking, is he only ran the hard tire. That's it.
Exactly. So he goes into sprint qualifying completely, utterly blind on how that car feels on the soft compound. Massive disadvantage.
And it wasn't just him, was it? His teammate, LECLERC.
Yeah, Charles Leclerc had transmission problems too. He was on the radio complaining, I think 7th gear wouldn't engage.
Yeah, something like that. And he looked absolutely furious getting out of the car, just visibly angry.
He went back to the pits, and that was it. Didn't come back out. Finished way down the order, like 18th or maybe even 20th.
So let's unpack that for you listening. What does missing that soft tire run actually mean for them?
It's huge. It's not just about the ultimate lap time. It's about knowing how the car behaves.
Right, the balance, the grip.
Exactly. What pressures work best? How does the balance shift with low fuel when that massive soft tire grip kicks in? Brake feel? They know none of it.
They basically have to use sprint qualifying as their test session.
Which is just asking for trouble when everyone else has already done their homework. It's a massive gamble.
That visible frustration from LECLERC, it tells you this wasn't minor. This felt like a weekend-defining problem happening right at the start.
It really did.
Yeah.
And, if you appreciate this kind of deeper dive, getting into the why behind the results, the technical stuff, the strategy.
This is what we do here on the Gearbox Zone channel.
Exactly. So if you're enjoying this breakdown, please do hit that subscribe button right now. We try to bring this kind of focused Insight every time.
Please do. Okay, so with Ferrari pretty much sidelined, what happened in those final minutes? It got pretty frantic, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. The last 10 minutes, the track was properly rubbered in, conditions were good, and pretty much everyone bolted on the softs and went for it.
The crucial qualifying simulations had to be done.
This was their one shot to feel the car on low fuel, soft tires before the sprint shootout itself.
And the big shock here, maybe, was Fernando Alonso.
Absolutely stunning pace from the Aston Martin. The predictions were they might struggle here.
Right, high-speed track, maybe not their strength on paper.
But he went purple in the first sector. Bang, P1. 9 thousandths faster than Verstappen at that moment.
Wow. 9 thousandths. Was that like a super low fuel glory run, or is there genuine pace there?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It certainly challenges the idea that the Aston can't perform at tracks like this. He seemed happy, came back in early. Good signs for them. Definitely some hope.
And Max. Verstappen went out on softs, too.
He did, yeah. Put in a lap, but couldn't quite grab that top spot back in those final moments.
Interesting. So you had Hamilton quick on hards early, Alonso stunning on softs late.
Tells you teams had different run plans, right? Mercedes may be focused more on race setup initially. Aston clearly went for that peak quality performance check.
Fascinating stuff. So the checkered flag waves.
Right.
What did the final leaderboard look like? Because it got shaken up properly at the end.
It really did. Completely changed the picture heading into the shootout.
Okay, top three. P1 was Lando, Norris, McLaren. Looked quick all session, really.
Yeah, he seemed to have the measure of it. But the real shocker was P2.
Go on.
Nico Hülkenberg in the Sauber.
Get out. Hülkenberg P2.
Yep. Put in a mega lap right after the flag dropped, slotted himself between the two McLarens.
Okay, that is a deep dive moment right there. Hülkenberg splitting the McLarens. Was that real pace, or were others, hiding something? Maybe running heavier fuel?
It's hard to say for sure, but you can't deny the lap time. For that moment, the Sauber was seriously quick.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
Definitely. And P3 then?
Oscar Piastri. The other McLaren recovered well after being a bit off Norris earlier, ended up only a couple of tenths behind. A strong showing from McLaren overall.
Good recovery. And Alonso, where did he end up?
P4. Confirmed that pace wasn't a total fluke. Really strong result for him.
And the Ferraris, we know they had issues, but final positions.
Grim reading. Sainz 19th, Leclerc 20th. Just sessions to forget, really, all down to those mechanical problems.
So wrapping this all up then, what's the big picture takeaway from this absolutely chaotic FP1?
Well, chaos is the word. We had those major gearbox failures crippling Ferrari, leaving Sainz and Leclerc way behind the curve.
And then that burst of unexpected speed right at the end from Norris, Hülkenberg, Alonso. The picture for qualifying is, let's say, murky.
Very murky, which is great for us watching, right?
Yeah.
But the key insight, I think, for you listening is the massive tactical disadvantage facing Ferrari now.
Losing that vital setup time.
Exactly. They have to learn on the fly during sprint qualifying itself. That's risky. It really opens the door for McLaren, maybe even Sauber with that Hülkenberg lap, to capitalize.
Grab grid spots they maybe wouldn't have otherwise. Sets up a really intriguing weekend.
For sure.
So here's a final thought to chew on. We saw Hamilton fast on hards, Alonso fast on softs, lots of track evolution. Who do you think is actually hiding the most performance? Who's got something extra saved for the shootout?
Ooh, good question. Red Bull were relatively quiet.
And maybe the bigger question, can the Ferrari mechanics work miracles? Can they actually get Sainz and Leclerc's cars fully sorted in time for that fight for, well, the mini pole?
Those repairs under Parc Fermé conditions soon, that's going to define their whole weekend, potentially.
Absolutely. Loads to think about as we head towards qualifying.
Definitely.
And hey, one last reminder. If you found this deep dive helpful, enjoyed the analysis, please make sure you hit that subscribe button on the Drake Zone channel.
Yep, helps us keep bringing you this kind of content.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.